From Wiltshire in England.
There we go. And welcome from Sarnia, Ontario, Canada.
Wow. As we join Sarnia with the advisors in Wiltshire, and we talk about anything and everything. So we just need a topic.
Well, there's lots to talk about, that's for sure, because I couldn't be here last week, but it was nice to see Dom join you.
It was good. It was good. Yeah. We had a good chat, and it was a good show. It was different. And I think at the end of it, we both said we enjoyed it, and that's the main thing.
Yeah, I did catch it from. I was at the studio at the radio station.
Yeah,
but there's no webcams and no real time to get involved in a conversation. Yeah. So, but I was observing. That was good. Dom's actually going to join me later today on my community show.
Oh, brilliant!
Kind of give an update on Talking MS. So, I noticed something on your page, your personal timeline.
Yes.
It was a show about waking up 3 years ago today.
Right. The video is a step back in time, because the video itself was actually recorded on Blab.
Oh, is that right?
Oh yeah. It was recorded on Blab, downloaded, and it's a piece of history, because we woke up on the 24th of June 2016 to discover that people had voted the wrong way. Well, it was a shock. It was a national shock, and myself and Stephen Silk and Peter Stewart got together to discuss our thoughts on the way forward, to have a positive way forward.
Yeah.
And you had two people who voted Remain, one who voted Leave, and we're still on speaking terms. And here we are 3 years later, and we're going to have another Prime Minister, our third in 3 years. And we're still in the EU, and that's politics.
Yeah.
I
don't pretend to understand it.
Neither do I. I don't think the people involved in it understand it.
No, probably not.
I mean, I'm coming to the conclusion that all our politicians are actors, and that somebody writes the lines for them, as they would with an actor, and they just say them, which means. Great point here is that they don't have to believe them, because they're playing a part. They're acting out a part, and their scripts are written by professional script writers, otherwise known as civil servants, or PR people, and they just read them, and they don't have to believe in them, because a politician.
We'd like to think that they do.
Well, a politician can change sides so quickly. If the wind blows in the other direction, then they will change their stance. Cynicism in the UK is a national trait.
Right.
we don't always believe what we're told, but it's just exasperating is the word. I mean, we were exasperated 3 years ago. We're still exasperated today. There's very little that we can do about it. We're trying to get. We went on the march to London last year. We're trying to. There'll be another march this October before we're due to leave. And again, millions of people will congregate in London to say that they don't want to leave the EU. And this time it will be more prescient, because it will only be days away. So Angelica and I are planning to actually be on that march. And instead of being a 1 million person march, I wouldn't be surprised to see 2 or 3 million people. Actually, it's going to be quite a day. Actually converge on London. Meet up at Hyde Park, and then walk all the way into central London and deliver a message to 10 Downing Street, where the Prime Minister lives, and we'll see what happens. So that's politics, UK style.
Yep. Well, you keep us informed. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on over here. But I don't think we have as big of a deal going on right now. It's over here. It's just typically, this policy and that law, and why is that? Why'd they do that, or why'd they raise taxes, or why didn't they? That's pot's legal now. I just don't know.
Well, yeah.
And I'm like, well, that doesn't affect me because I don't smoke it anyway. So
times do change though. But Canada has no you don't need to secede from anybody because you're part of trade agreements, but you are a country who you work, well, not, what's the word I'm looking for? You're outgoing and you welcome relationships with every single country in the world, but you're not part of a political union. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to put it. All right, moving on. Before the politicians think we're talking about them.
Right, and if you've not already noticed, today's color is purple, and this was not by design. This was pure accident.
Okay, well, I was going to ask you if there was a reason behind that, and because my shirt's purple.
Yeah, that's right. That's why. And
I'm like, okay, we didn't plan this, folks.
No.
Welcome to Broadcasting to Your Community today. I see we have some viewers out there. If you'd like to share your comments, and I apologize, Stephen, I forgot to send out a message telling people we were live. It's been a busy weekend for me, so I'm actually very last minute today getting things ready. Yes,
you've been at Ribfest, and that's an understatement because you've been broadcasting live from Ribfest all weekend.
Yeah. This is the third year that they've had me out there doing it, and it's a lot of fun. The sunshine showed up. I've got probably a burn on my head, and my face looks red and whatever. But even being under the tent, which was fantastic because we've had a lot of rain here in the past month, and the farmers aren't happy about that. But I think they're going to be okay. And then on top of that, last year Ribfest had crappy weather, so they didn't do as well. So I was happy to see them have nice weather and everybody comes out and has a good time. And there's another Ribfest in a couple of weeks. But I can't be at that one. I'm going to be busy somewhere else. But yeah, we have two Ribfests that go on, and they're both fantastic. Okay. And it's just something for people to come out and get outside, right? And they're in different locations, so that's convenient for both sides of town. And it's just ribs and beer and fun.
So Ribfest is ribs and beer and fun.
Yeah, it's ribs, like pork ribs or pulled pork and that kind of stuff, and craft beer. There's I think 15 different craft beers brewers there, and then you've got all your delicious junk food like deep fried Mars bars and deep fried Oreos and all that sort of and bloomin' onions they call them, and everything is good for you.
Yeah, I thought deep fried Mars bars was a Scottish delicacy.
Was a what?
A delicacy in Scotland.
Oh, is that right? Oh, I don't know.
There you go. You got something in common with the Scots then, because it is
a
national dish.
Oh boy,
national dish.
I'm related to Scots now.
That's not a bad thing.
No, not necessarily.
Peter Stewart's a Scot.
Yes. Oh, I forgot about him.
Yeah. How could you? Could you?
I couldn't. If he's watching, he'll be looking for a guest link. We don't have a guest link right now. We will probably take some guests a little bit later on in the show. But let's talk about broadcasting. Speaking of, I was there all weekend. I had a fantastic time broadcasting. There's so much we can do, so many different platforms. And I use multiple platforms, as you know, but I'm still so thrilled with BeLive, and BeLive Studio 2 is on its way on Wednesday, right?
BeLive Studio 2 is released on Wednesday, correct?
Yeah.
And
very exciting.
Indeed. It's a total, basically, what's happened is over the last 2 years or 2.5 years, BeLive have learned from what we've said about what we'd actually like to see in the system. And they've gone away and they've got a pencil and paper, and they started with a blank piece of paper and built what is essentially a totally new system from scratch. Building on, sort of looking at the original version, which came out in October 2016, and saying, right, okay, that's that. Let's put that on one side. That still exists as a system. But if we had the opportunity to actually design it from the ground up, what would we do? And what have our customers been asking for? And what they've actually done is listen to everybody, listen to their own engineers, and they have built BeLive Studio 2 from scratch. And we've had the pleasure of beta testing it and coin phrase, knocking 7 bells out of it and putting it back together. So we've been helping in our own way to get this version out. And as you said, on Wednesday, it will actually launch publicly. And there'll be a fanfare. There'll be shows on BeLive.tv. There'll be shows in the BeLivers group. And it's going to be a good day. It's got to be a good day.
Yeah, and you know, one of the great things, and you and I have always said it too, Stephen, is that BeLive listens. You know, they listen to their community. They've created a community of people sharing and helping each other, and then they listen to that community. Like you say, they just basically took a blank piece of paper and said, "Okay, we've taken all your input, and now we're going to redesign." And you know, there's been bugs along the way, but that's why it was you know, beta testing, and I was thrilled to be a part of that. And I think it's one of those things too, where it's kind of like every time I get a new phone, I have to learn how to do something different, right? You know, you have to adjust, and you know, that's going to take a little bit, but that's just an adjustment thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing, right? So,
well, everything you can do at the moment, you can do on BeLive Studio 2. So, but the thing is that BeLive Studio 2 has a lot of features, and if you look on the BeLive.tv page, for the last 9 days, Molly Mahoney has been unveiling one of the top 10 features a day. So a slow reveal of what's in BeLive Studio, but on Wednesday will be the full blown version, which is open to everybody, and you can try it out for 2 weeks. And if you like it, you can take it on board, and you can still broadcast twice a week for free. Pricing's not been published yet, because they're looking at additional features that you and I don't know about. We know what's been happening for the last couple of months.
Yeah.
But what actually is going to be revealed on Wednesday, some of it may be a surprise. I hope it's not too much of a surprise, because I spent 6 days last week filming the Udemy 2, which is where my background comes from.
Right.
On Udemy. For a Udemy course for BeLive Studio 2, and this colored background is one of the ones they actually used. I went all out this time from what we've learned in the last 2.5 years, and I appear on screen with the virtual camera and the background I've got at the moment. I've got 6 different colors, so I can go from purple to red to green to blue to turquoise, a whole range, and I can just switch in between them.
And what are you using to do that?
I'm using XSplit VCam.
Yeah.
So I'll just show you, because we've got everything tuned up. If I browse my folders, hopefully I can, or where shall we go? Let's go there. I can change color.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I'm now dark blue. Can I just ask you a question? Is the writing the right way around?
Yes.
All right. Okay. It's just disconcerting, because I thought it was back to front. So
is it backwards to you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I only just discovered that.
And that's because it's backwards to you, it's showing proper to me. Yeah.
Correct.
Correct. Speaking of that, appear.in doesn't do that very well.
No.
I've recorded guests remotely using Appear, and for example, like you would see all this on air, and everything would be backwards to you.
Yep.
So I don't know why they haven't fixed that. But,
yeah, of course, we may be able to sort of ditch Appear in at some point. Just a subtle hint as to what's coming on Wednesday. Yeah.
Well, and that's fantastic, because sometimes, one of the features that was sort of missing before was being able to play videos, right? And I know they've you can share your desktop screen and do that, but it also takes a lot of power on your machine. So that sort of made things a little difficult. So there's some more hints.
Indeed.
Yeah, I've got XSplit VCam here. but I don't think I have the full version. Whoa. Why did it do that? Replace background. I'm trying to make it work here.
Okay. One of the things you can do is you can use a virtual camera, and you can use that virtual camera on Windows and on iOS on Mac. And XSplit VCam is probably the best ones around, because all you do as a user is tell it which background to use, press the calibration button, and it sorts everything out for you. There's no painting everything and clicking on the background. You don't do any of that. It's automatically sorted. And for $5 a month, including XSplit itself, it has to be a great bargain.
How much is it?
It's $5 a month. If you buy it outright, you can get it for between $29 and $49, and that's a one-off fee. Yeah.
Right. Or
you can pay $5 a month, and you not only get XSplit VCam, but you get the whole of XSplit. Now, XSplit is a desktop software like vMix or OBS, and you can use it to put together a professional broadcast and go out solo, because that's the easiest way. Solo anywhere you like. You can go to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, anywhere that allows live video. You can use XSplit.
Yeah, I used to use it when I first started broadcasting, and I used it quite a bit. I had a full version and everything, and then I got into OBS a little more, and they're both great programs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's just one of those. If we could take 5 or 6 programs and mush them all up into one, right?
If only. And,
yeah.
and so we've got software all over the place. My current problem is that I see something on AppSumo which says $49, buy me, and I go and look at it and I think, what a fantastic piece of software for $49, a lifetime deal, one-off payment.
Mm-hmm.
I need that. So I buy it, and then I try it out, and then I forget it.
Yeah.
Well, apart from some which I use every day, but I have hand up here. I've got to go back to AppSumo at least once a month and make sure I'm using everything I've bought. I came across one today which is called Birdseed, and I haven't a clue what it does. So Birdseed. I've got a license for it. Yeah, I think it's a marketing campaign software.
I think I've seen something about that. I just saw something somewhere.
Yeah, so I've got to check that out. I've suddenly found I've got some spare time because I'm not creating Udemy courses now. I can sit back for a bit until I start doing the almost complete guide to live broadcasting. Is my next project.
Right.
Because it will never be complete, because as we know, everything keeps changing.
Oh yeah, it's ongoing. Well, and that's the thing about Be Live Studio 2 is like they're not just stopping, right? I mean, this one will come out and
no.
I mean, it's ongoing. They'll keep adding to it.
Wednesday, I feel, I don't know how you feel, is the beginning, because they've put together a structure which they can build on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if they're clever, which I'm sure they are, they will actually release the API for it, the application programming interface, so that other people can actually write add-ons for Be Live Studio 2. And that would be a great way to actually expand. So you could have add-ons which do, well, virtually anything. Supposing, for argument's sake, that somebody brought in a PDF reader.
Right.
Yeah. And you could bring that straight into your studio, and it had controls to help you flip the page whilst you're actually in the studio, rather than having a separate screen share. A whole range of things would be possible if there was a Be Live Studio 2 interface.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I'm just talking out the top of my head now and second guessing. Who knows what's going to happen?
Interesting. I'm not that guy. I mean, I'm not the programmer guy, but I can certainly offer lots of suggestions.
Oh yeah, that's it. I mean, it's double-sided. I mean, in order for something to happen, somebody's got to imagine it.
Yeah.
And that's half of it. Creating it is the other half. So if you're in a studio and you're broadcasting, you think, oh darn, I've got to do a screen share to show a PDF, and it's going to be difficult is the word of, well, not the first word I thought of, but it's going to be fiddly. Whereas if you had a plugin which plugged into the BeLive Studio, and you could actually type in the PDF name, load it up, and then you could go through it page to page without actually leaving the studio. Just a thought.
Nice.
Okay.
And you've probably already told them this.
No.
Oh no.
Oh no. When they're doing a major rewrite, a total rewrite of the system. So adding suggestions is not this is not the time to do it. I've been with Brigetti's help. I've been crashing the system, and it's only when people crash the system that you find out the limitations of it.
Right.
And I've been exploring the limitations for the last couple of weeks, and I've had several people along on the journey doing it. I did it on Studio 2 last Monday. And Dom and I,
group. Yeah,
Dom and I had some fun along the way, but eventually we got it all sorted out. And then Brigetti and I did a show on Friday, which, to coin the phrase, was a show from hell. But we did it, and we know why. What happened. So it helps the programmers to actually see, because I was filming behind the scenes at the same time.
Right. Gotcha.
So they actually see what goes out on Facebook, but they see what's happening behind the scenes. And we know that you've got to be, if you're doing a normal show and not pushing it to its limits, it's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you and I went live on Studio 2 now, wouldn't really have a problem, because I know from experience basically how to approach each individual set. But it's going to be fun on Wednesday. I'm just fingers crossed that they go with the MVP of the system, minimum viable product, and they build out from there. So in other words, they take everything that they know is working and hide things which aren't, and release that version of it, and then build up as they're going along. From a practical point of view, anybody who's using the original BeLive, as we are today, this will be running for at least 2 months. Okay, and it's available. Just go to your profile, say, I don't want to use the new system, and you can use the old system. If you want to use the new system, go to your profile and say, I want to use the new system, and you're using the new system. So you can readily swap between the two.
Right.
And it is integrated. It's one help system on both. I know that because I sent a message this morning, and I sent it on version 1 and got the reply on BeLive Studio 2. So
it's exciting times. You know, if you think about I don't know, a year ago, when we were talking, and we saw a different version of the BeLive that we're using now, from sharing your desktop screen. That was huge, right?
It was.
What we're going to see now in BeLive Studio 2 is mind-blowing, really.
It is going to be mind-blowing, because there has been a 10-day build-up to the release on Wednesday, but it's been gradual.
Yeah. And
unless you've actually said follow the BeLive.tv page and follow it first, then it could well have slipped to your, because of the way Facebook works. Not everybody will have seen those videos. So there are a lot of people who are going to be very pleasantly surprised on Wednesday by the way it actually looks.
Yeah. Let's talk about Facebook for a minute. You mentioned, it seems how you mentioned their name. They're always changing things too, and adapting things. And sorry, one of the things I noticed.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No. You first, because I've been prattling on.
I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so they've changed some policies.
Oh yeah.
And specifically when it comes to music. Have you noticed that?
Oh, okay. No, I haven't. Carry on. I'm...
So now, don't. Whoa! I'm knocking things over. Now, don't anybody quote me on this, and don't anybody hold me accountable to this. But my understanding is, copyright music is being dealt with differently than it was, say, a year ago.
Okay.
For example,
yeah,
they don't seem to throw you. I've been very consciously aware of this because, well, for example, Ribfest, right?
Yeah.
When I'm there going live, if that music that they have on the stage is playing in the background, in between the bands, it's recorded music.
Yeah.
I would get shut down. It happened to me at Borderfest a couple of years ago. I was like, oh, and then they threw me in Facebook jail for 24 hours. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be here broadcasting and I can't broadcast. So I have noticed, and this is, I found an article as far back as June 2018 that they're dealing with things differently. Instead of throwing you in Facebook jail, and I've gotten a couple of notifications that said there seems to have been a copyright issue with one of your videos.
Yep.
And then I click on it and it doesn't take me to the video.
Nope.
So I don't know. Okay, I'd like, which video was it? Yeah. But then I don't notice any videos disappearing.
Nope. No,
it's just a warning, and it seems that they're allowing. I wasn't this. I should have tried to find the article here, but it seems that they've made a deal with Sony and other companies, and they're paying them royalties. So they're allowing it. I think.
Yeah.
Haven't really seen anything official from Facebook saying go ahead and do it, but I've seen a lot of articles saying Facebook is saying go ahead, it's okay.
Yeah.
As long as it's not your prominent thing that you're trying to make money from it. Like you're not going online and playing music videos.
Yeah, I'm basically with the Live Video Hub, I've got the shows on there, and one of those, Three Blokes show about rugby. I got notified that there was a copyright problem, just as you did. But again, it didn't take me to the video. It just said, it was very... Right, two true stories about Facebook then, as you jog my memory too. When you go to a Facebook page, you can press the videos tab and it will show you the featured video. Then underneath that, it lists all the videos. And if you've got playlist, it shows the playlist. Yep. Right. Now, last October, when we reached 2,000 videos on the Live Video Hub, that broke. And the only time the videos button worked was when somebody was live. Yeah.
Right.
If you press the videos button when somebody was live, you could see all the videos. But when they weren't live, the button did zilch, nothing, nada. It did not work. So last October, I wrote to Facebook and I said, look, I've got so many videos here and it's not working. And I didn't hear a thing, as you don't, because this is Facebook. But what did happen was that the number of likes I was getting per week dropped from 60 a week, because people were watching the videos, down to 4. Yeah. So because people couldn't see the videos, they weren't liking the page.
Right.
Okay. Yet yesterday, or sorry, last week, Facebook fixed it.
Ah.
And now we're back up to 40 people a week liking the page.
Nice.
So there you are. That videos tab and what you've got on the videos tab is important. That's your showcase. When people come to your page, if they're interested in video, they will click the videos tab and they'll look at the videos you've got there. So it's important. I'm just going to go on my soapbox. It's important that the video you're showing as the feature one is your latest video or one you like a lot, and that you have playlists underneath so that people can watch playlists like Loving for Britain playlist or Bots for Broadcast playlist. And underneath that, you then got all the videos and people can select by most recent to oldest. So that's the first story, which is a good news story. If you'd asked me in October, how's it going? And I said, well, nobody's visiting the page. Right, but now it's working, so I'm happy. But you had to wait for Facebook to fix it. You can't do anything about it.
Right.
Right, now the second story is a sadly true one. If you've got a Facebook group, and you've got a Facebook group, an active group with members in it, do not forget that you're responsible for it. This is a true story. We have a group. I'm not going to name it because that would be totally unfair. But I know of a group which is very active, and it sometimes gets a bit political and a bit heated, and sometimes people post things that Facebook doesn't like.
Right.
Yeah? Now, in olden days, if there was a post by a member in your Facebook group, then Facebook would just flag it and for your attention, and you'd be persuaded to delete it. Yeah.
Right.
The warning that goes with that has now got stronger. And I know of one group admin who has been told by Facebook, they did put a post and say, right, okay, we don't agree with this post. But they also said, if there is another one like this, we will close the group.
Ah.
So,
and there are those who go around in groups and try to get groups shut down by saying nasty things and posting things, and reporting it themselves to Facebook.
Oh yeah, it goes on. It goes on.
I mean, there are those. What's the word for those people? Anyway, whilst you were talking, those are good stories. Those are good, and these are important stories because I think we get really comfortable with Facebook, Stephen, and we all just, it's Facebook. I can do whatever I want. It's like, it's my Facebook. It's not your Facebook, folks. It's Facebook's Facebook.
That's
and
true.
they're allowing you to have access to do these things. And it's free, and it's sort of free. I found an article similar to what I was talking about there a moment ago. Let's see if I can get it up here. Facebook finally allows licensed music in videos.
Right, okay, that's good.
And starts testing Musical.ly rival.
Now that's interesting.
Now this is back June 5th, 2018. So Facebook is now allowing users to upload videos with licensed music and has started testing a Musical.ly rival after clinching music licensing deals with both major and independent labels. So for those of you who don't know what Musical.ly is, it's like a live stream platform for musicians. And you can go on there and people can tip you and pay you and all that sort of stuff. So it looks like, pardon me, it looks like that's something. And I'd heard about Facebook doing something like this. Facebook's not done yet. They've also, game shows is something that Facebook's been testing as well. We'll be able to have access to it. So
I'd love to do a live quiz show.
Yeah, totally. And
trivia.
We could do it here now with sharing your desktop screen and stuff, but Facebook removing videos with music will no longer be a problem. The social network, in fact, will actually encourage it with Lip Sync Live. That's going to be their rivalry to Musical.ly. Facebook users will no longer have to worry about their videos being taken down because they contain licensed music. Previously, Facebook blocked videos that included copyright music. With the new rules, when users upload Facebook videos containing music, they will be informed if the included song is allowed through the licensing deals acquired by the social network. If not, the video will be muted unless the uploader submits a dispute. The label that holds the copyright may then approve the usage of the song in the video through the rights manager tool of Facebook. Facebook will reportedly provide compensation to labels and artists whose music is used in videos uploaded to the platform. However, the company did not disclose the rates and whether the compensation would be computed based on number of blah, 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 blah. Okay. So there you go. That's from Tech Times.
Okay. Once you got the browser there, David,
can
you go to bbc.co.uk?
bbc.co.uk. There we go.
Might as well stay with our theme. And now can you go, when it comes up, go to the, yours is doing the same as well. Can you go to the, oh, you've not, it realizes you're in Canada. Darn. You see, that's not what I see. This is unfortunate. That proves a point, though, that websites are basically, news websites are geographic. They've got geolocking on, and it can sense that you're actually, well, and it probably knows your address in Sarnia, but it can sense the country you're in, and therefore delivers the international version of the BBC website.
There must be a way, though. Like, why would they not want me to see their? Like, I want to know what's going on over there.
They don't want you to know what we Brits are up to. That's why I come on this show every week to tell you. I mean, you've probably been redirected to bbc.com.
Welcome to the bbc.co.uk. Oh, look at that.
Yep, straight away. Sorry, David, you're in Canada. We can't let you see that.
That's crap.
Okay. Right.
And the first thing I see is Trump's face. That's awesome.
I know. It just shows that we are international as well. There was a story which I'll tell you about rather than it.
All right.
Basically, our gentleman who used to be Deputy Prime Minister in the UK, as most politicians do, when he lost his job, he retired from politics. But rather than becoming an after-dinner speaker and doing the circuit, he went to work for somebody. And that somebody was Facebook. So he went straight from politics to Facebook. And he is now working for Facebook in the US, and he's currently doing a European tour, trying to persuade people that Facebook had nothing to do with rigged results in either the US election or the UK election. And he's currently in Paris. So that was just a link between where we started, which was politics, and Facebook, where we're sort of ending up. Yeah.
Interesting. So what's he doing for Facebook?
Just a minute. I'll find the story I'm talking about, and then I'll break with tradition and not give you my view on things. I'll actually give you the facts. Just a second. So this is not my view on things. I'm going to the BBC website, and his name is Nick Clegg, Sir Nick Clegg. So he was knighted for his services to the country. And
how's his last name?
Clegg, Clegg. He was hired by Facebook last October. And
today, Nick Clegg on Facebook?
I don't know.
Facebook, Nick Clegg says no evidence of Russian interference.
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah. Yeah. And he was
no evidence Russia influenced the Brexit result using Facebook, the company's vice president, Sir Nick Clegg, has said. Oh, he's vice president.
There you go.
Former deputy PM. Let me bring this back up here. Former deputy PM told the BBC the company had carried out analysis of its data and found no significant attempt by outside forces to sway the vote. Instead, he argued that the roots to British Euroscepticism go very deep. In a wide-ranging interview, Nick also called for more regulation of Facebook and other tech giants. In response, Damien Collins, chair of the Digital Culture, Media and Sports Select Committee, tweeted that Sir Nick was wrong to suggest that there was no Russian interference on Facebook during the referendum, quoting a link to research carried out by a community. So there's some debate going on there.
Yeah. Arguing. Yeah.
Interesting.
But, so there you have it. A route to become a vice president of Facebook is to actually get involved in politics, become deputy prime minister, lose, leave politics, go and work for a newspaper, then leave the newspaper and go and work for Facebook. He obviously had all the skills before he became a politician. But
well, I don't know. Well, you don't. You're not a politician, and you've been involved with Facebook.
Well, that's true. I'm not. By no stretch of imagination.
You weren't vice president, but you. Has there been any? Let's go back to that for a minute. When you were away on a Facebook trip, and they paid you to go and be there and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Has there been any more come from that?
Oh, there's a permanent Facebook group.
Nice.
So we get information from Facebook 2 or 3 times a week, and we get training from Facebook as well.
Oh wow!
So it's an ongoing situation.
That's fantastic.
It is. It's a service which is invaluable because basically, when 2 or 3 pages got stopped from live cross-posting, yeah. And who do you turn to? Well, you can't go to there's myself, there's Brigetti, and Adair. And Be Live in 5 couldn't cross-post. Adair couldn't cross-post from My Time Live, and Brigetti couldn't cross-post from Writer's Corner. And you can write to Facebook and get nowhere. But I posted in the group to which we just referred, and within 24 hours, the 3 of us had been reinstated. So it's not just a listening post; they actually do take action.
Right.
And I think.
So does that give you access to ask them questions? Like for example, could you ask them about the copyright music thing?
Yep. I can ask what the current regulations are on copyright music.
Yeah, that's what a great access resource for you to have that.
Yeah, I will do that.
Maybe could you do that?
Of course, I can do that, Dave. Because
it's nice to have friends in both places.
Yeah, yeah, I can ask them. Definitely.
That's fantastic, though. That and I'm sure you utilize that whenever you need to, right? That's
it's good to be in a position where you can actually get some action. And we're fortunate in that the people running it are actually, I think some of the people running it are actually based in Ireland. Mm-hmm. So there's a kinship there, as it were. But yeah, it's a secret group, and I just got invited. I think I think one of the reasons I got invited was that I actually post in the Be Livers group every single day.
Oh.
365 days a year, because I did a daily thread.
Right.
Yeah. So if you're looking at activity, who's been active in this group, then by doing 365 posts a year into one group, I don't know. There might be a Canadian equivalent. It's amazing what there is around, though, because there are marketing groups, there are sport groups. I know, who is it? I've forgotten their name. Bob Tomlin is a member of a couple of groups which are for group admins.
Right.
Yeah? And they get advice about what's happening on groups ahead of when it happens. Yeah. So that's good. Yeah. So there you are.
Facebook's a pretty amazing space. I mean, when you think about what we can really do with Facebook, I mean, I get funny looks all the time when I set up my tent, my media tent, and it's got my picture on it and TV is set all over it, live streaming, starting blah, 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 right? And people, they look, and then they see me with these little cameras, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm broadcasting." You're broadcasting to where? Well, wherever I want, but typically Facebook, right? And to be able to, and I have a suitcase, it's a big suitcase, but on wheels, and I pack everything in there, and away I go. And sometimes I have a smaller carry case that I throw it over my shoulder, and it's got before camera, it's got the basics of what I need sometimes, and it's It's a mobile studio in a box. You're going to see some new things from me coming.
Okay.
Soon,
well, talking of new things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to talk about now, don't you? I saw a photograph of you astride a motorbike.
Oh, yeah. That's quite a story, actually. That I won't. I'll share with you after the show. But
Okay.
it's a really positive, feel good story. But yeah, let me see if I can find it here.
I know it's public knowledge, so.
Oh yeah.
That's where
the story behind it's not really public knowledge, but
okay, all good.
I can. Here it is. Yeah, we'll click on it, make it bigger. Here we go.
That's the photograph I saw. Yes.
Yeah, she's a beauty. And my buddy's dog. This dog, this little Jack Russell. She actually, she knows. She got in the picture, sat down and like on her, and like is like, I'm ready.
All right.
So funny. This is a 2005 Kawasaki Vulcan.
Mm-hmm.
A 2053 cc motorcycle.
That's some power.
It is the largest engine ever put on a motorcycle.
Right.
Okay. What is he thinking? Yeah. And it's you see it's there. It says, very excited to be the new owner of this beautiful Kawasaki Vulcan. Not just a new toy. An angel came into my life and shared this with me. So there's quite a story. I'll tell you about that. Okay. But she's a beauty. I had her out, and I've had a motorcycle license since I was about 21 years old. So it's not like I just said, I'm not having a midlife crisis, folks. So I'm okay. I've had a few bikes, and but that's certainly the biggest bike I've ever owned, and she's heavy. So I've had to take my time in getting her, and I have to establish a relationship between each other. Understood. And
you've got to become one with the machine.
Yeah. So, I'm very, very excited because 4 days ago, I never would have thought this would be sitting in my garage right now.
Right.
So, very, very cool. Yeah. So, and I got, well, I can share this actually. I don't know. I wish I had the picture. If I can, how could I do that? So I'll try to multitask here. Oh no, that's not what I want. I know. See, I can't do it. I'm already screwed. I had trouble bringing that picture up there. I need a producer, Steven, but you're close to being in bed by the time I do my afternoon
that's
show.
True. I'm wrong end of the day. So when you go live at 3:30 Eastern today,
I know you're watching the replays.
Right. Who's on the show today?
Don't ask me that right now because I'm trying.
All right. Okay. Whilst you're thinking about the answer. For everybody who's watching,
Dom's going to be on the show today. Dom Fernandez. He's going to be talking about his group, Talking MS. Where does the time go when we're having all this fun? And then I've got Graham Holmes, who is part of Empower Play. Is having a concert coming up, and Empower Play is he raises money to help those. Sports can be really expensive.
Oh yeah.
So he raises money to help those who want to be a part of sports and not be denied because of financial barriers, right? So, and then I've got my buddy Jake Chersky, who you might know from Philly Cheese Jakes. You've probably seen me post stuff. Yeah. He's also part of the Sarnia Imperials football team. Football, the odd-shaped ball, not your football.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And he's going to be on talking about that. So, okay, here we go. Please sign, David. Is this the one?
Okay.
What? Almost there. Why is my email not showing graphics? That's why. Please sign in.
Okay, whilst David's fettling things, Just a reminder that on Wednesday, BeLive Studio 2 is released by BeLive.tv. It's been many months, if not years, in the making. BeLive have listened to everything that we've said since we started using it in October 2016. We're excited about being able to use it live for real and to use all the facilities that are there, and you'll learn all about them on Wednesday, and you can take it for a ride, take it for a spin for 14 days free of charge, and decide whether broadcasting is for you. I think I can say this without fear of contradiction. If you need any help with BeLive, then you can contact David or myself, and we'll.
And when you say take her for a ride, for a spin, you're talking about BeLive, not my motorcycle.
It was sort of the influence of the bike was there. You could tell that, couldn't you? I was trying to keep everything sort of tied together.
All right. Well, you did good at stalling. So now it's been a really good week. So recently, how do I want to deliver this? So I need a second vehicle. Jennifer and I have had one vehicle that we bought. It's a 2016 Kia Soul, wonderful car. But she works out in Petrolia, which is about a 20-minute drive from where I'm sitting right now. So it's 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back. So if I wanted to go around anywhere in town, which we can get to anywhere in 10 minutes in my city, 15 if you hit every red light.
Right.
So it was a little constraining to me to be able to get out and meetings and stuff like that. So if I needed a car, I'd have to drive it all the way there, come all the way back, and then do my thing, and then be on time to pick it. It was a pain in the butt.
Right.
So I needed a vehicle. So I went to a local car dealership, a used car dealership, and told them what I did. And it's a place where they have a garage as well. And it's where my family and my father, and we've been taking our cars there for years. And I said, this is what I do. And I want to do this and this and this and this for you. And in exchange, I would like you to give me a vehicle. And they said, well, leave it with us. We'll talk about it. And about an hour later, I got an email and they said, yeah, sure.
Okay, brilliant.
And here it is. That's what it's going to look like. So I have the van now.
Yep.
Let's put that in full screen. And it's going to be wrapped by our local AG Event Graphics, better known as askguy.ca. Notice how I said that slow.
Yes.
Ask. He's a friend of mine. I tease him. I'm like, you're the Ask Guy. Okay. So there it is, the Video Show Network and the show with David Burrows. And Joe's Tire is another company that they own. So they get to be all over there. And on the back window will be Ask. So the trick now is, so that's going to get done. So I have the van now, which is great. So now I have a second vehicle. So you will see more of me if you're not sick of me already, out and about in the community, which is really what I want to be doing, right? So, and this is going to get done. They're telling me sometime in August it'll be done and complete. So I'm so excited for that because it really says that people in the community are seeing what I'm doing, right? You know, and they're recognizing because it's really been a struggle, Stephen, for the last 8 years of the show to get people to see the value in it. Okay. So this is kind of like putting a stamp on all that hard sweat equity and stuff that's paying off, and it's been a great year. So this came into my life, and the motorcycle, and a buddy of mine, I said to a buddy of mine, I said, well, should I go buy a lottery ticket? And he's like, no, just ask for one. They'll probably give it to you for free.
That's great.
But funny enough, last week, one Wednesday, I was at a Business After 5, which is a networking thing we do here. And I went to our local casino for that, and they gave us all $10 of free play. Okay, I don't play the slots. I don't like the slots. Right. Jennifer does. That's her thing. Okay. So I had to sit down and get this sign up for a member's card. So they gave me another $5 because I signed up for that. And then because I gave them my email address, they gave me another. So I had $20 of free play. So I sat down with this one machine, put the $5 in, and I'm like, this is dumb. Why am I don't even like doing this. Why am I doing this? I cashed out that $5, went over to another machine that I know Jennifer likes to play. And I sat down and I thought, well, I can't. I'm grumbling the whole time. And I put it in. Yeah. $15 left. Put it all in. Well, don't I start winning? Long story short, in about 20 minutes, I won $100.
Wow. Did you start to enjoy it then when you actually started winning?
I did, but it was not like Jennifer gets like, me, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's cool. Oh, right on. And I'm still sitting there thinking this is dumb. And then, of course, when I tell her the story, she's going to laugh at me because she knows how much I think slot machines are fun to play. Right? So she's like, She's like, I told you. See, now that. And I'm like, yeah, right. You told me. You knew that was whatever.
Yeah. Brilliant story.
So I got $100 in my pocket there to burn. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. I have to come up with a name for it. And we used to have here in Sarnia a mobile stage that people could rent out. The city owned it, whatever, and they called it the Showmobile. We haven't had it for a few years because it fell apart, quite honestly. Now I've heard talk of them wanting to do another one, and I'm like, well, I want to call my van the Showmobile.
Okay.
Unless somebody has a better name. Maybe I should have a poll.
You could follow Be Live TV and call it Showmobile 2. So that people think there was a Showmobile 1. Like people think there's a Studio 1. Now that we've got Studio 2. Sorry, just blank out.
Showmobile 2.
Okay.
I got to put that into it. So exciting times.
Indeed.
That live stream thing. It'll never work.
Nope, it won't. It'll never take off.
Yeah. Right. To the point where you're teaching live streaming at a college. And exciting there too. The fall, I'll be teaching my dual credit, which is the high school students at the college. I have one class for that. They've expanded it. I'll have 2 classes. So I'll have 2 classes for the dual credit and 1 class for college. Expanding. Thank you very much.
Expanding. Excellent.
That live stream will never work. Anyway, enough of that. What have you got coming up? You're preparing for this the excitement on Wednesday.
Preparing for the excitement on Wednesday, launch of Be Live Studio 2, launch of the Udemy course. And tomorrow, not to forget tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern is I Live Here with myself and Fons Chamberlain.
Yeah, I have to get into one of those again. I haven't done that in a while. And when I have, I've enjoyed them. So I know that you've had Kelly. Well, you've sort of had Kelly on. He just
we nearly had Kelly on. This is what I'm looking forward to when we do get. Well, not say anymore.
It's almost like we're fighting over him. Who's going to get Kelly on first? He's going to
say it might be easier after Wednesday.
There you go.
There you go. Another hint.
Yeah. And we've got. Speaking of next week, can you take the show on again because it's Canada Day. July 1st is Canada Day.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Independence. And I'll be live streaming the parade again. Okay. I think this is my 4th year doing that. So excited to do that again. And I'll be busy all over in the parks and emceeing the shows and everything. So I'll be busy. My show will still exist. Yeah. It'll be pre-recorded live.
Very good.
So, Steven, it's nice to connect with you again, and always enjoy doing our shows, right? You're making your hands
so do I. It's good fun. Informative, we learn something, we enjoy ourselves, and we're joined by our friends. What could be better?
Really, no kidding. Thanks everybody for watching wherever you're watching from. We've been broadcasting in 5 different countries right now. I think we're in Australia, too, Ireland, and UK. We're everywhere. Just ask about us. We're everywhere. And we're excited for Be Live Studio 2 coming out on Wednesday. Check out the BeLive.tv page or the BeLivers group if you want to be a part of this. If you're already using BeLive, that's a great place to be. So if you enjoyed the show live, give us a 10 in the comments below. If you didn't like the show, do nothing except come back and give us a second chance, will you? From Sarnia, Ontario, Canada, and from
Wiltshire, England.
This has been Broadcasting to Your Community. Bye for now.
Bye.